All right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday, and this is, well, just happened to pop in on us, the folks from Flowers, and, you know, these are wines we followed from the very beginning. I think 91, the first vintage, and Walt and Joan Flowers moved out to the Sonoma coast, and, well, I guess they just got, you know, up there in age, and they didn't have anyone to take over, so they decided to try to find a partner, and the Augustin Huneas was looking for a Pinot label, I guess, and you know, he said, well, you know, you guys make great Chardonnay. And they partnered up in Pinot Noir. So, and I think they just took over full control of the winery over the last year. And this Sonoma Coast Chardonnay, one of the staples of the wines on the true Sonoma Coast. These guys have got a pretty big following. And this cuvee does see some purchase fruit, though. In addition to their 2 vineyard sites that they own, they've been such a demand for this. But it is from their neighbors out on the true Sonoma Coast, the Sonoma Coast being an appellation that stretches far inland. And these guys from day one have been using indigenous yeast, no fining, no filtering. The great La Follette set up the winery here. And these guys, Sonoma Coast Chardonnay from 2012, has got a good amount of lemon drop candy fruit, lemon custard, kind of notes of vanilla bean, really rich and complex bouquet of aromas. A fresh and balanced wine on the tongue with notes of that cinnamon spice and vanilla bean showing through with a firm hand of acidity on the finish. A healthy dose of minerality at the end, leaving that tongue refreshed, just the right amount of oak. Excellent juice at $45. All right, the Camp Meeting Ridge Chardonnay. This is the original vineyard. It was planted in 1991, 100% estate, 100% barrel fermented, 15 months, and 45% new oak. And this wine has an intense kind of lemon curd citrus fruit with a really strong mineral component there, that seashell kind of note showing from the type of soils they have there. Creme brulee, kind of vanilla bean, a bit more intense oak here, but this wine can handle it. There's a lot of fruit, and that minerality really weighing in, a little butterscotch candy note there as well. Really lovely complexity. The vineyard site's 20 acres. CV Ridge, our other vineyard, is about 47 acres. And on the palate, this wine showing that intense lemon citrus fruit with an almost oily texture, kind of layers of tongue-tingly minerality through the finish. Really quite youthful here. A bit reserved on the first day, but really opening up nicely on the second day. This wine needs a little bit of time, but has all of the right stuff. Most excellent juice at $78. Wow. All right, the Pinot Noir Sonoma Coast up next, and this wine's also a blend of different vineyard sites, and they purchased some fruit for this as well. Then we got 15,000 cases of this wine, making it their largest production. They only do about 10,000 of the Sonoma Coast, and much smaller of the single vineyard wines. On the nose, this wine's got a lovely, pretty floral nuance, touch of spice, and the fact that they fully destem the fruit. You know, you usually get a little spice from the stems there, but this wine still has it. They do have 5 to 10 day cold soak, so they get a little head start on the color. But still, these wines always been very light, very old world style Pinot. Lovely red berry fruit, strawberry and cranberry on the tongue, raspberry, really nice zest to the wine. Pretty floral notes lasting through the finish, really long and layered, a bit of earth, but the focus here on the pretty floral notes and that zesty red berry fruit. Excellent juice at $54. And then the Seaview Ridge Estate Pinot up next, one of the coldest vintages on record, 2011. This is a very extreme growing region, as it is all the way out there on the Sonoma Coast. So it's showing a little bit of that green, minty kind of herbal note to the raspberry fruits. They planted a lot of heirloom clones in this vineyard, Swan, Calera, and others, to give this wine a really distinct, earthy, kind of truffly note. And this wine's been 17 months in barrel, 30% of which is new. So you do get a nice little hand of spice from the oak there as well. A lovely wine on the palate, you know, showing that freshness you get from 14 to 1,800 foot elevation. And these wines get a longer time on the vine, and so they get a lot of fruit development there. They had a really early bud break this year. It was the end of February, and they already had bud break. Usually that doesn't happen until April. So 2014 could get a lot of hang time here. And this wine, you know, light in color, but not light in flavor. Really complex and rich on the palate. The 30 different vineyard blocks from this vineyard go into this wine. And sees about 10% stem, so you do get a little bit of spice. And you notice that and leads into a long, complex finish. This wine is all that and a box of chocolates. Most excellent juice at $73.50. That's what we had to drink with our friends from Flowers. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.